Hi, good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to Poem Praise 2 and peace and blessings be upon you and your family this afternoon. Now, for this afternoon, we are going to go ahead and get into the goddess Black Woman. Currently, right now, we're on the character reflection number 2 here on Poem Praise 2. The character reflection number 2 is entitled Maturity. Now, this is take 2. And for this section that we're about to go into, it's entitled Raising the Child in Us and the Need for Supervision. So, without further ado, it reads as such. It is our needs that must be fulfilled, not necessarily our wants, unless we are wise enough to want what we need. And the need of our people today is proper guidance, as is the need of any child or immature person. The need of a child can only be fulfilled by an adult who is maturely wise enough to recognize the need of that child and fulfill that need. We have been mental and spiritual children. The need of the child is proper guidance. This means that a goddess Black woman can only be an effective mother to her civilization by having the maturity of proper guidance ingrained within her. She must be properly guided before she can properly guide. And this is the purpose for which we are reading at this very moment. Don't forget that we are rebuilding and preparing ourselves for a responsibility. We must be prepared. The way that you practice and prepare for responsibility of raising children is by first raising up the immaturity of yourself, or raising up the child within self. This only means to wisely and maturely guide, nurture, and discipline the childish aspects of your own character unto the maturity of its potential. You already have the substance and principles of maturity in you. It is just that they are not being fully empowered and expressed. It is that childishness in most of us that is running the show. The child in us is running our lives. But you and I know that if a child is left to run the house and follow its own will, it will play and eat candy all day long until it makes its own self sick. Right? Pretty soon, if the child is left unchecked and undisciplined, the child will play itself into its own demise. A child may drink some poison or set the house on fire just for the sheer entertainment of watching the flames. This is why there must be adult supervision. Yes, an adult supervision is what is needed. Supervision is just another word for wisdom, or the ability to see what most others cannot see. This vision of maturity is gained from the study of one's own time of experiences and are seeing that of others. You already have this maturity of wisdom in you. Just give that maturity the authority to supervise you. You already have this good sense. Just give that good sense the power over your thoughts and actions. Good sense is really God sense. God sense is really supervision. And this you were born with. You already know right from wrong, right? Right. You have always known right from wrong, but yet always have found it difficult to do what you know you need to do. This is what the word need, again, not this, let me repeat that. There is that word need again. Well, this is all rooted in a lack of mature supervision, because a child cannot fulfill its own needs. And in our lives today, it is the child that is running the adult. The tail is running the head. But a tail cannot see where it's going because it has no guiding supervision. The head has eyes for supervision, but yet it is facing in the wrong direction, traveling backwards. This is a classic case of the blind leading the blind. This we must change. The head must take charge. The adult must command authority within us. I'm checking. Yeah, the next section is your child is watching you. And we do have enough time to complete this section. So let's go ahead and complete this one. We all know that we are not doing what we could, should, and would do. And this verifies that there is some principles of mature guidance present in us, because we do recognize that we are not being as properly guided as we wish. We can see this. And seeing this fact hurts us and leaves us feeling dissatisfied. Seeing that we are not living up to our potential really hurts us deeply down inside. Seeing this reality about ourselves will subconsciously destroy our character, whether we consciously acknowledge this reality as truth or not. Seeing this slowly erodes our self-esteem bit by bit. Seeing this robs us of our own self-respect. Seeing this depletes us of our own self-love, and this is not so good. Now, this is really why your image and character is so very important. We cannot stress this enough. Your image and character is not only what it is seen on the outside, but what is envisioned. Listen, this rebuilding process is not to show others your greatness, but it is to show your own self, your own greatness. This is not to vainly make others believe in you, but to make you a true believer in yourself. Can you hear this, black woman? This is about you and you and you. This power of belief in the goddess in you will erupt the awakening of the goddess in you, and only then. For unto us a goddess is born. a sunlight is given, and a nation shall be upon her shoulders, and she shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, a Mighty Goddess, the Everlasting Queen Mother, the Princess of Peace. Yes, 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 you. This is a real, and none of these words are idle words. This is a purpose. There is a purpose, excuse me, behind them all. There is no vain nor trivial pursuit either. Now, let us calm down and continue with this subject. For we have not yet ascended unto our ultimate destinies, where we were. Oh yes, here we are. We were discussing how the true importance of our image and character is to monitor how we personally envision and discern the level of maturity within ourselves. We were discussing the importance of how we see our own selves, our own self-opinion. See, they say that it is important to be careful of how you act around children, because they see, hear, and pick up on everything that you do. Well, since in most cases we are the biggest child that we know, we need to be very careful about how we act around ourselves. The only child that is most carefully watching you is a child within you. Who? The child within you. The part of your character that wants to be undisciplined and immature. The child within you. What principles are showing and teaching this child? This is a question we must ask. You are this child, and you are also the adult. Can this child respect the adult in you? Is the adult in you even alive or presently expressed as an example to the child? If so, what admirable principles are you showing this child that would gain its respect for you, which is actually self-respect? Of course, this child will not respect you nor seek your guidance if it sees you behaving as immaturely as itself. If not immaturely, then its own self, right? This is true. A child is not as foolish as you may think. A fool who will not follow another fool must now be considered wise. So since the child in you is watching you, can this child look up to you? Or can this child only see you on the same level eye to eye? Because your behavior is just as immature as any other child. Your pattern of behavior should always be an example of proper guidance to your child. You are always watching you. And what you do will always have an effect on your own respect for self and your self-esteem. So always strive to be that which you yourself could and would respectfully look up to. Be a good example for yourself. Does that make sense? Sure it does. And you want to know something? That does complete take 2 here on Poem Praise 2. Certainly hit the like button. You can share and subscribe. You'll then be able to know when I'm going to come with take 3 of the character reflection number 2 of maturity. Now, I'm going to let you know what our next section that we're going to go into is going to be entitled Spend Your Good Sense Maturely. So until then, I certainly want for you to be well, to take care, to be safe, be blessed, and it be at thy will. I'll talk with you soon, here on Palm Praise 2. So, until next time, later, y'all.